Alright, just a quick one. Fish fritters. This is a follow on from my fritters, carrying on the theme of unidentified frying objects. And here I have cut up some hake, which is a northern white fish. Any white fish will do that's good. Catfish is good. You name it, anything you like. River cobbler. And there's some farmed salmon there, Scottish farmed salmon. You'll see my lovely wasabi sushi knife there. I'll use that for slicing up my fish nicely. And a bowl for mixing in. We pretty much go the same way as we did with the fritters. We put it in, add the gram flour, add some spices, and make it into a batter and then deep fry it. It's really that simple. I'll show you the stages as we go. Okay, I've cut up the fish, put it in the bowl with 2 generous tablespoons of gram flour, 1 tablespoonful of all-purpose flour or self-raising flour. If you're using all-purpose flour, just a little pinch of sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, and you should be good to go. Into that I'm just adding half a teaspoon of curry powder and perhaps the same of mustard seeds. Mustard and fish go really well together in this sort of dish. Alright, sorry about the mess you're watching, but it's right in the middle of a crazy Sunday. Alright, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that, mix it up into batter, and I'll get back to you. As you might have guessed by now, I'm filming this completely on the fly. I've turned off all my lighting and everything, and I'm just filming it as we go because it was a rather impromptu idea, but there you go. First of all, you mix the ingredients dry, and then all I need to do now is add a little bit of water to that, mix it into a stiff batter, and then fry it off. Right, that's how you want it to look. You want it to be a fairly thick and rather claggy sauce. A rather thick batter. Make sure you season it. So I've seasoned that with salt and pepper at this stage. You can always season it again afterwards, but it's really nice to have the seasoning in there with the batter. Alright, so make sure you do. Alright, I've cleaned up the oil from the fritters, I did, and now I'm just going to literally just drop pieces of fish into the oil like that and spread them out. That already smells great. That smells monumentally good. In Britain we're rather famous for our fried fish, as you know, fish and chips, but these are more like the French beignets, I think they call them in France, where they do little fritters of things. I'm sure if you did it with chicken we'd call it chicken nuggets, but there you go. Alright, let's find a space for that, and we'll leave that one out. Alright, so we fry them again until they're cooked. The thing is with fish, that by the time it looks done, it's overdone. So be careful not to overcook it. But we'll see in a minute. I'll show you when it's all done. Right, as they start to look done, begin to look done on top, if you just give them a push from underneath, just slide a fish slice underneath them to make sure they're all lifted from the bottom. Because the worst thing ever is if you end up with fish stuck to the bottom and then it all breaks apart and it looks gross. Alright, so just make sure you do that, lift them off, let them cook a few more, about another half a minute, and then flip them over and finish them. And then the next thing you'll see, yeah, I don't need to show you the rest of this, the next thing you'll see is these finished and ready on a plate. Alright, that's the fish fritters. They're all fried up. Now I'm going to show you a little technique, and it doesn't matter what you're cooking meat wise or fish. It's particularly good with chicken and with fish, is you get it to this light fry stage, and then you take it out of the oil, you let it cool for a couple of minutes, and then you bring the oil back up to heat, and then you introduce it all back into the heat. Now, there's a reason for this, and that is it just simply crisps it up much better. And if you're ever doing fried chicken wings or any kind of fried chicken, learn that technique. Getting it back in the heat, only for a few minutes. Now, right until that stops bubbling, and then lift it out. And then serve it. Fish fritters, they're really great with all the chutneys that I mentioned in the other video about my fritters, my unidentified frying objects. And now the same is good for these. They're also nice with a bit of dill mayonnaise or Thousand Island dressing, but I'm going to serve them with something spicy.